Hey, I'm Brian Van.
I'm Max Van.
And we are here with You Can't Make This Shit Up, Part Quattro. All right, before we dive into this, it's important you understand this has nothing to do with STG. It really doesn't have anything to do with motorcycles outside of the fact there's one behind me.
And we both ride. That's another one. But
that is another one. It has everything to do with this t-shirt this kid's wearing right now. Max is 14 years old. He's in 9th grade. He goes to a local middle school here. We live in Shelby Township, Michigan. It is literally right across the street from the subdivision we live in. There's a lot of great teachers and administration over there. My wife and I put a lot of value on the contribution that all that staff makes towards the upbringing of our kids. The reality is your kids are spending more waking hours with these teachers and the people at school than they are you. It's just a fact of life. With that said, as a parent, you need to make sure that all the time you get with them is super concentrated. The message that this shirt portrays is really important to both my wife and I. At his age, I don't think you should be having sex. That's just where I'm at. You're not an adult. You're not emotionally, you're not mentally capable of processing all the things that go along with that. And that is something we're invested deeply in trying to teach all of our kids by giving them real world information so they can make their own decisions. He's probably going to get laughed at and teased, right, for being in this video and admitting that he's a virgin. You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm 14, whatever.
Yeah, you got broad shoulders. Yeah, you should be proud of that too. And I hope you make it quite a ways too. You know, you don't have to be with 100 girls. All you need to do is find
the right one.
That's it, dude. It's really a simple equation to just be committed to it. You want to be successful at anything in life, you need to be committed to it. If you don't take the time as a parent to teach your children about sexuality, I promise you Pornhub will do it for you. And none of the shit on there is real. None of that's a good message. I'm not saying negative stuff about that either. I love everybody. Race, creed, color, everybody. I love everybody. But you don't want your kids learning about those things from other kids at school, because I'm guessing not every single one of them in that middle school is a virgin. You've probably heard a lot of stories, and you've told me a lot of things, and it's good to have that knowledge as a parent, right? Invest the time with your kids to make sure that they understand. But now I want to talk about the phone call I got, because I was a little fired up about it, and I don't agree with it. Mm-hmm. I don't, because I really do agree with that, even though I know part of the reason you're wearing that is to make people smile, and I get that. So last week, I get a call from somebody who's really fired up, assistant principal over there, over this shirt. From here, I'll let you take it away.
So normal Thursday, put this thing on, went to school, proud of it. And I went to my first hour, and my teacher actually said it was a good message. And then I went to my second hour. He had no problem with it. He was like, oh yeah, if they had this shirt in a 4X, I'd definitely wear that.
We're getting one, dude.
Yeah, so
100%.
At the end of my my second hour, a random teacher from another classroom came out, pulled me in the hallway. I was like, oh, what's going to happen here? So I talked to her, and she was like, I actually like this shirt. It supports a good message. But I saw the new assistant principal actually call a kid out during lunch for wearing that shirt in front of everybody, embarrass them in front of literally everybody in our school. And yeah, it just sucks. So right before lunch, can you please flip that inside out?
And how did you take that? Like when they said right before lunch, can you please flip that inside out? What did that mean to you?
So I thought like, okay, before lunch, I'll flip it inside out. And then after that, it'll be fine. Like that's what I thought, which call me stupid for that, whatever. But yeah, because earlier then I had no problems with any other teachers.
What was your interpretation of what you heard? Had you worn the shirt to school previously?
Yes, one time before.
And how did that go?
Nothing happened.
I do remember telling you to take another shirt with you that day.
Yeah, I did take another shirt with me, but I didn't have to switch it out or nothing.
Okay. So you had the shirt turned inside out, and then you turned it right side because you thought you were cool to do that, right?
So I'm in the middle of my 5th period, and she just comes in yelling at me. And she goes, "You, come here, come here." I come on the hall. I say, "Yes, ma'am." She's like, "Come to the office." I'm like, "Okay." So we're walking to the office and everything, and we step inside her office, and I just say, she just yells at me and says, "What's your name?" I said, "Maximilian Vandenbroek." And then she looks up my name, and then she didn't even give me the chance to like speak why I flipped it inside out or anything like that. She just immediately started yelling her voice, screaming at me, and went to my parent contact list, called my mom, my dad, my grandma, 2 of my aunts, and 1 of my neighbors. I was on my parent contact list.
I was in a meeting, and I had to dismiss the call the first time. My wife works here too. She was in a different meeting, had to dismiss it. And then she literally hit me right back. And this all happened in like not even 60 seconds. So I did take the call. She was pretty fired up. And right away I told her, I'm like, we'll just suspend it for 2 weeks. She got kind of quiet and then said that wouldn't be necessary. And I don't want to beat up too much on the school. I really don't. What I want to focus on is going to be 2 things. Number one, I think that's a great message. I think as parents, we all owe it to our kids to do the best we can to instill that message in them. Look for that one girl or that one guy, and aim for that. And there's a possibility you miss that target, man, because a lot of things happen in life, but if you start from that basis point, you're going to be in a real positive position. And it's also important to understand too, that whether you're a person of authority or you're the person who is a subordinate in that relationship, it's important you treat other people with respect. If you want to be treated with respect, even if it's by a subordinate, you need to first treat them with respect. And I would say that not allowing you the opportunity to speak, yeah, dude, I don't think that's cool. I'm sure she's a super nice lady and is really committed to doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But I would say that you need to allow someone who is, caught in an infraction the opportunity to share their perspective on it before you just levy a judgment and you start calling their parents. So, like I said, this has nothing to do with motorcycles. This has nothing to do with sport bike track gear. It has everything to do with spending time with your kids, good messages. And I think that is one of the best. And I hope you make it all the way until you actually marry some girl.